guy. So, if you remember Dussy guy, he believed that medieval architecture that uses arches primarily because they're a structural strong point. They're really good for holding up big heavy buildings, because the geometric shape of an arch carries loads very well. He, however, had an alternative theory, and that is that archways are secretly meant to depict vaginas, and that it's a way to try and tempt you into joining the church or something. I'm not fully clear on what he meant by the Dussy. So he talked about the Dussy for a while, and now he's back talking about Oprah and Ellen. So let's take a look.
In this video, I want to explain why Ellen and Oprah Winfrey were chosen witches for the Hollywood Illuminati agenda.
Okay, so apparently Ellen and Oprah are both witches. Good for them. I kinda wish Ellen would use her witchy powers to not be terrible to her staff. But whatever. Did you guys see Ellen the show is ending too, which is good, because Ellen's terrible?
It's a very strong statement to make, chosen witches. What is a witch? Well, it's an ideology, a philosophy, okay, a thought, a principle of belief, which is contrary to the gospel.
Wait, so any belief system that isn't Christianity is inherently witchcraft? So, like, let's say I'm a vegan, okay? Let's say I'm a vegan, and the Bible explicitly says in Genesis that, like, all of the animals of the land are subservient to you, and you can use them for sustenance or whatever. Technically, veganism or whatever would be against biblical teaching, so therefore veganism is witchcraft. Everything is witchcraft. Like the Romans practicing Roman religion, that's witchcraft. Just being an atheist, that's witchcraft. Being someone who believes in the Hindu gods, that's witchcraft. Seems like you just want to try and other every single other person who doesn't share your very specific belief. That's not usually good. Once you reduce definitions down to being that broad, they're basically useless.
And if you look at Oprah Winfrey in her past programs where she denied Christ as being the only way.
Is Oprah, I mean, I think Oprah is Christian to my knowledge. I know she's had people on, like, one time she had Rainn Wilson on one of her shows on the O Network. I only know this because my mom watched the O Network when is that still a thing? I guess I don't actually know. But she used to have a show, I think it was like Super Soul Sunday or something, where, you know, Oprah does kind of vaguely spiritual stuff. And I think she had Rainn Wilson on, who you might know as Dwight from The Office, and he's a part of a religion. I forget specifically what the religion is, but his religion believes that all religions are right in their own way, and that everyone's personal religion is a way for you to get to know, you know, the deity that created the universe, but it's all right, even though it's not literally right or something. It was a whole thing. So I know she's had people on who have extolled the idea that Christianity isn't the only way to live your life, but that's just, like, true. We live in a world with 7.5 something billion people and countless religions. It's reality to say that no one knows specifically if any belief system out there is objectively correct spiritually. Like, that's just reality. Mike Mack says, isn't he making fun of his ancestors' faith? I mean, I'm not going to get into the racial dynamics of Christianity when people who were... Yeah, I'm not getting into that. I would definitely need to be more qualified to have discussions about, like, the relationship of certain people from certain groups and their religion when that religion is opposed to traditional religion from their ancestors who were taken from other continents non-voluntarily, let's say. Pyromancer says, but if you other everyone, you can maximize your persecution complex. I guess that's true. I hadn't considered that. Puka says, I just got here. Oh, damn, it's the Dussy guy. It is the Dussy guy.
And indeed, even going to Joel Osteen's church to make sure that before she become friends with him, that he is more or less aligned spiritually with her new age spirit. So she's choosing her friends carefully, which is why she and Ellen are two peas in a pod. They think alike.
I know. It sounds like he just said 2p in a pod, like 2p instead of 2 peas. And part of me wonders if he knows what 2 peas in a pod is referring to, and he accidentally called it 2p. Like, normally that's not something I would say. Normally I would just say, oh, he just misspoke, but this is the guy that thought doors looked like vaginas, so, like, I'm really having trouble here getting into his point of view. I don't understand where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Lord Necro Jay-Z says, growing up with Oprah, it's almost like she had always been around. It'll be weird with the day she passes, I suppose. Yeah, she's been around my whole life, too. I don't know. I don't really notice Oprah stuff, though. I don't watch network TV. Or the O Network.
Agenda is similar. In fact, the same. What are the agendas of Oprah and Ellen?
Hold on, wait.
Oprah and Ellen.
Okay, so this is Oprah kissing the Weinstein guy, I believe. Yeah, he's a fucking creep. And this is her with some young woman, and Weinstein looks like he's creeping on her. That doesn't surprise me. A lot of people who are in the media knew Harvey Weinstein, and it was kind of, I guess, an open secret that he was a creep. So yeah, Hollywood has a problem with institutional people in institutional power taking advantage of others, and the community at large looking the other way. It's fucked up. Mike Mack says, best Oprah is MTV Oprah. Was Oprah on MTV? And then this is just Ellen on her show, but with a PNG satanic blood pentagram and all-seeing eye just put on there. Is this evidence? What am I supposed to gather from this?
Ellen wanted to promote a liberal sexual revolution.
I mean, Ellen is a lesbian, and she's been out since, like, the late 90s. It's 2021. People don't really give a shit anymore. People usually, if they're, like, culture warrior pieces of shit, they just hate on trans people now. Most people don't care about lesbians. Casual Snark says, Ellen and Oprah's gender is similar, just like over 50% of the population. That's absolutely scandalous. Give me a break. Mightiest Quinn, thanks for raiding. Welcome, raiders. Go check out the Mightiest Quinn here on Twitch. If a mod could throw a link, that'd be appreciated. Mike Mack says, Mad TV, my bad. Gotcha. Okay, that makes more sense.
And what did she do? She did it like a lamb, but with horns.
So like a goat? A goat. Tucker White says, and now you started 30 minutes earlier. What the fuck, Hannah? I know, I'm so inconsistent.
She talked about love and tolerance.
Yeah, because she came out in like the 90s when being openly gay was like, it was more acceptable than it had been in America's past, but it was still like, ooh, that person's gay. Just look at, I mean, for a good example of like primary source documents of what the culture perceived gay people to be at the time, you can look at shows like Seinfeld and Friends and of course Ellen to see the public's perception of homosexual people, the way those shows tackle homosexuality as a topic, right? Seinfeld had an interesting bit, which of course hasn't aged very well, but like there was a whole episode where I think George and Jerry were being confused for like a gay couple. And nowadays, this wouldn't even, I mean, if it was a plot, it would maybe be a one-off joke, but this was like a running plot in this episode. And every time it came up, they'd be like, oh, you think we're, and they wouldn't even, I don't even think they would say the word gay necessarily. Oh, you think we're, oh, we're not, ooh, I'm Jerry Seinfeld. Not that there's anything wrong with that, and that was just the running joke, because it was sort of a topic at the time, and people were more comfortable with coming out, but it just wasn't comfortable for people to talk about because it was a relatively new social topic to be openly talking about at the level that it was. Of course, there were, LGBT rights stuff going on from the 50s and 60s and 70s, but like the 90s is when it really broke into the mainstream media as a topic of conversation regularly in stuff like sitcoms. Will and Grace, a good example of this kind of thing. Like, this is the first time that gay characters were being a part of things and being discussed, and sometimes were even the main characters of their own shows. Like, Ellen, from what I've seen and heard since then, probably not the nicest woman in the world, but she was sort of a figurehead in showing the public, hey, look, it's just a person, they happen to be gay, but there's nothing wrong with someone being gay, The things that are wrong with Ellen are not the gay parts. It's her being a weird Karen stuff that's bad about her. It's a little bit like, Caitlyn Jenner, right? I hate Caitlyn Jenner as a person, but part of me has to respect the fact that she came out openly as trans in a time where that's difficult to do and became this public figure to show other people who otherwise might not be acquainted with the issue and might not know people personally who are out as being trans. It shows them, look, I am a public figure that is trans, I am a human being, I am deserving of basic human dignity and respect. That's good. There are bad things about Caitlyn Jenner, tons of them. Don't vote for Caitlyn Jenner. But she still did that. Ellen, also kind of shitty, but she did come out at a time when that was very difficult to do. Zozo Horror Show says, Tolerance Core goes, Tinfoil is best Tuesday. Mike Mack says, it's almost like these celebrities are normal people and will do what they like and fail like everyone else. No, that can't be it. Pure Squire says, meanwhile, Babylon 5 had two guys going undercover as married, and their complaint was that nobody would buy them as a couple. I haven't seen that show. Hell's Wake, thank you for subscribing with Prime for 7 months, says, ooh-woo. Duggar White says, there was also an episode where Kramer's accosted by aggressive Puerto Rican gay man and his gay lover for his armoire. I remember that. I do remember that. Gender bitch. I love that.
And everybody danced to her beautiful music. Everybody danced to her beautiful melody. When you hear the word love, it makes you go mushy. You can't help but become vulnerable because you hear the word love. If you go against it, it makes you a hater. So
yeah, typically, if you're against the concept of love, that does kind of make you a hater, sure.
Run into this false New Age energy called love.
Love is New Age. I learned that today.
Little did we know, or I knew it, but little did the world know, that Ellen, they said she was a bully. She was toxic. She was a nasty person, a monster. Yet she was using love to tantalize the world, to promote her agenda.
Sure, because they're different things. One is talking about her failings as someone interacting with others interpersonally, and the other is discussing the public at large accepting someone, for their sexuality or despite their sexuality, regardless of their sexuality, and then all the other interpersonal stuff is a separate issue. These are not conflicting issues. Like, someone could be a complete asshole, and they still deserve basic human rights and dignity like everyone else, right? You can think they're an asshole, and Ellen appears to be an asshole, but that doesn't mean that her being gay has anything to do with the negative aspects of her personality. Pyromancer says, Hannah, sponsored by Wheat Thins, background product placement. That is weird, isn't it? There. No more product placement, unless Nabisco wants to pay me money.
using love consciousness, just like Oprah Winfrey when she argued, you can love whoever you want. Notice the term is love, love, love. But
Yes, because love is generally a good concept.
what's interesting, if we're going to walk down that route, you can love whoever you want.
Yes, as long as they're consenting adults. Isn't that a wild concept? Tucker White says, yes, Jamaican guy, there's assholes among all races and nationalities. Hell, you're a perfect example. Blackwing Hecate says, did he say something about Hulk Hogan? I don't remember the Hulk Hogan thing. He sounds off like a knockoff Vincent Price villain.
Oprah Winfrey was best friends not only with Harvey Weinstein.
I doubt she was best friends. I imagine they were quite... I don't even want to say close. I would imagine they were business associates. Weinstein had his fingers in a lot of pies. That was the wrong metaphor to use. Weinstein and his business were one of the biggest production companies in Hollywood, and they had dealings with all sorts of different people. So yes, I would imagine Oprah had a pretty regular business relationship with him. She may have even known some of the bullshit things he was up to. It's entirely possible. I'd have no idea of knowing. And that would be terrible, and that would reflect terribly on the character of Oprah Winfrey. But I already don't have the highest opinion in the world of Oprah. So, just kind of is what it is. It doesn't mean that if you disagree with someone for some other reasons, doesn't mean you can't also accept the good things they do. Like, there are things I disagree with Oprah on. The fact that she brought people like Dr. Oz and Dr. Phil into the spotlight. She's promoted all sorts of woo-woo bullshit. But at the same time, she's given a ton of money to charities. Now, in fairness, you might also say, well, she's one of the richest people on the planet. Of course, she should be doing that, and I agree. But nonetheless, the fact that she's built out these girls' schools and stuff in developing countries, like, that's wonderful. That's great. But yeah, did she know Harvey Weinstein? Yeah. Did she know about that? That's a good question. Has nothing to do with whether or not love as a concept is good, though. I really like to fart with 100 bits says, new Hannah addict here, got my first jabberoo of Moderna today. Feeling great. I'm glad.
But also another sex predator who was a spiritual guru. Oprah Winfrey seemed to know how to attract these people. Especially
I don't know who that guy is.
when she claimed that she herself was victim of abuse in her childhood.
That is true. That's like a big part of her story of growing up is the fact that she was assaulted. Could you not get into this? That'd be great.
You would
Potential, content warning. I don't know if he's going to talk specifics about anything that happened to her. Just pointing it out.
think she'd run away from people like that. But no, she ran towards this love energy to promote her New World Order.
What are you talking about, New World Order? Do a Russian roulette? Okay, I can't time out Baja because if I do it to a mod, then I gotta remod him and it's a pain in the ass. So, a mod, Russian roulette. Who are we gonna time out? If you want to be part of the Russian roulette, type a... Give me a 1 in the chat, and then you'll be one of the people who will potentially be timed out for some amount of time from the mods. I'm not going to subject everyone to that, but if you want to play. Pyromancer with 20 bits says, I'm sick of the current order. Bring on the New World Order. Alright, mods, randomly pick one of the people who have typed 1 and time them out. If you can. If not, I'll do it, but,
Ellen's program was cancelled, and a lot of people were not surprised because of the toxic and hate that came out of it. But I've made videos attacking Ellen. I said she was a fake. She had a platform, and on that platform, she was promoting her satanic New World Order agenda. Hollywood used.
Again, calling Ellen fake because she was a bad person. Is any of the mod? Hold on, I'll assign a specific mod to do it because I don't know if any mods. How about Fries Burn? Fries Burn. Pick someone who did the one to time out, and then time him out for a short period of time. Hydrate will do. If you can. If you're busy doing something else, of course, I understand. Oh, what I was saying was, it's completely fine to point out hypocrisy in, like, Ellen, for instance, because her show was very much like, I'm Ellen, we're gonna have fun, let's dance, isn't everything great, we're gonna be, woo, everyone could be friends with each other, and haha, look, I brought on George W. Bush, isn't this war criminal so cute? Like, you know, you can point out the hypocrisy of that versus her backstage personality of being really, really terrible to people. That's completely fine. But to make claims about some sort of, like, New World Order agenda, that's quite a big claim, and you need to bring some actual evidence to it and not just state it like it's some obvious fact that everyone will look at and go, oh yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Female witches, because look, let me tell you how they work. Oprah, a feminist. You're not going to say, well, I don't agree with feminism. You say, yes, I believe in women's equal rights. I believe in women's equal rights. I believe in it. But that's how they catch you. Because then they introduce the earth consciousness, the earth mother.
What? What are you talking about?
That's how they tantalize you. So they bring you into this new age spirit.
I don't think anyone got timed out, did they? I guess I'm going to have to do it then. Time to time out a random person. I apologize. But you decided to play by putting in the ones, huh? Alright, here goes the timeout. See ya in 10 minutes. A couple of nerds. Done.
But they do it with a smile. Don't forget the...
Oh, wait. Toeen says, Dussy guy. Casual Snark says, speaking of timeouts, while watching Slade, I saw him type a comment, timeout victim, number of seconds they're timed out, and he usually submits them to a 2-minute penalty. Hockey fan. Okay. Andrew Patella says, hi Hannah, for some reason Twitch didn't notify me. Also, who knew feminism was a gateway drug to woo? And Overthought says, favorite restaurant drops my food. It's a conspiracy. New wing order.
The dragon appears as a lamb, but he has a horn. And this is how they deceive the world. Oprah Winfrey and Ellen DeGeneres, they were the most two powerful witches in the world. The two most powerful New Age witch
Ellen
Christians.
Was one of the most powerful witches in the world. That's pretty cool. Tucker White says, just remember who's telling you on this stream that this guy needs evidence that there's no New World Order. I'm actually a lizard person. I don't know if you know this. I'm secretly a VTuber, so this human model. I'm actually a lizard person. It's true. I've told you this. I'm open about my lizard person identity.
Love them. Pagans love them. The world loved these two antichrists. Even Joel Austin loved them both. T.D. Jakes loved them both. The dragon walked into the church. And people too busy wanting to be blessed materially, financially, that they fell asleep when the dragon came in and sang them sweet lullabies. It's all about love. Just tell people that they're not falling asleep. They feel happy and relaxed. Not realizing we are told in the last days with love.
Pyromancer says, didn't realize we could have multiple antichrists. It's fun how that works, huh? One sec. A couple of nerds, consider yourself untimed out. Sorry about that.
And tolerance is the biggest deception that's going to be sweeping the earth. Because Lucifer, we are told, come as an angel of light. He's not going to come dark. He's not going to come like this. He's not going to come like this. No.
I don't even know what that was that I'm supposed to be like, he's not going to come like this. Come like what? Hydrate. Okay.
He's going to come beautiful, really tenderly. And
oh, he's a succulents fan. That's cool.
So lovely. Beautiful.
You want to smoke with this guy? That would be terrible. He'd be such a downer. He'd be like, let me tell you why you're all sinners. Let me tell you why you're terrible and the world is terrible. He would be such a downer.
And he's going to come all beautiful. Why? If he came ugly like this, your guard would be up. So he'd come so beautiful and tolerant. It's all about love. It's all about love. And the church, left, right, and center, they fell for Oprah Winfrey's beautiful love charm. This Aunt Jemima, she looks cuddly. You know, Oprah Winfrey looks cuddly like Aunt Jemima's biscuit. You want to lean against her warm, big, brown breast.
Why are you making this weird?
She's so comforting. You would believe she's a witch. And Ellen DeGeneres, she comes along as a victim. Misunderstood. But she wants the world to love when she ends her program. She talks about love towards everybody while she was abusing her own staff. But she calmed the world. With a love.
Hold on, let me get that sound effect.
While she was abusing her own staff, but she calmed the world. Her own staff, but she calmed the world. With a love vibration, she calmed the world. Tell them what they want to hear.
Making it weird, what else did you expect from Dussy, man? I guess.
And everybody was happy to sell their souls to the two most powerful witches in Hollywood.
Why are they the most powerful witches in Hollywood? I feel like there are probably more powerful witches in Hollywood than Oprah and Ellen. They're not even in movies, really. They're mostly on their talk shows. Hall of Fame. We don't have a Tinfoil Hall of Fame. We have a Chudwatch Hall of Fame. And this certainly wouldn't make it, even if it was. There was one. This isn't that good.
Oprah must be the biggest witch of all, because she's still going. Her time will come.
A woman is successful for decades and decades in media. She must be a witch.
Time will come when she collapses. Her time will come like a pack of cards. Like, what's her name? Maxwell.
Like, if there was a Tinfoil Tuesday Hall of Fame, Dussy might go in, this doesn't go in. Does that make sense?
Maxwell Drisley, the woman who's now in prison for child trafficking. But sooner or later, one by one, they'll all tumble like a pack of cards. And Ellen now, her program's cancelled.
The difference is that Ghislaine Maxwell was a known associate of, oh gosh, why am I forgetting his name? Epstein, who helped him traffic underage girls for the purposes of, you know, what he used them for. Oprah's not that, and Ellen isn't that, to our knowledge. Tucker White says, to be fair, Hannah, anyone who would make Lance Armstrong confess to using steroids like Oprah did might actually be a witch. Did she the one that did that? I guess I don't remember.
Why? Because she can't say, love, love, love. People say, look, you're horrible, you're a monster. You're a monster. Don't put this out before us. That's why her program is cancelled. Not because I want to retire. She was ready and strong to push the liberal agenda. She was using her identity, let's put it, to push the New World Order. She and Oprah Winfrey, the two most powerful witches in Hollywood. They deceived the church. The church love Oprah Winfrey and they love Ellen. Joel Osteen and T.D. Jakes having biscuit and a cup of tea with Oprah Winfrey. He said, what is this about? Can light and darkness mix together? But Joel Osteen had no problem going to Lady Gaga's concert. He had no problem hearing T.D. Jakes sitting down with Aunt Jemima. Oprah Winfrey had no problem, her brown bouncing breast looking all comforting, sitting there, happy. You see, something don't make sense. Something don't make sense. But now, these two powerful witches in Hollywood, the most powerful witches in Hollywood, they have used feminism, sexual orientation to deceive the world, masquerade it as love vibration. Everything and anything goes, while the church were too terrified to preach the gospel. Ellen in the back scene, the backstage, bullying people, said the church don't love, while she was a bully.
Has Ellen ever said anything to that effect, that the church is bad? I guess I've never watched Ellen at length. I used to watch the sitcom from the 90s when I was quite young, and I saw some of the talk show because my mom used to watch it, but I don't think I've ever heard Ellen explicitly be like, the church is bad. It's possible she's brought up, homophobia, but that's just a reality? Two things can be true at the same time. Ellen can be a bad person, and also LGBT people also deserve rights and basic human respect and dignity at a baseline, the same that you give anyone, And then their personalities as individuals, our personalities as individuals, are a completely different story. These things don't cancel each other out. Just because one individual lesbian, Ellen, is a bad person in some way, in this case it seems like some sort of entitlement. She's been wealthy and famous for too long, maybe, and it's made her callous towards other people, whatever. I'm not here to quarterback her life or whatever. That's her problem. She can be a bad person, and also that has nothing to do with whether or not LGBT people deserve basic rights. I don't understand the conflation of the two issues. Casual Snark says maybe the Anglican Church, or at the least the heads of the Anglican Church. Why specifically that? Was she a member of that or something?
But she was using the love vibration to deceive the world. Were you deceived by Oprah? Were you deceived by Ellen?
No, I recognize that people should have rights. Well, first of all, I am, T and B. So I'm all for LGBT inclusiveness and rights, obviously. But even before I sort of was accepting of those things about myself, I still recognized that, people deserve to be treated reasonably, regardless of that kind of stuff, because it's not negatively affecting anyone. Just doesn't matter. You don't need Ellen or Oprah to tell you that it's okay to be gay or trans or bi or lesbian or whatever in order for you to recognize that.
Because we are told in the last days, many will fall. Broad is the way that lead to destruction. Broad and narrow is the way that lead to life, and few there be that find it. Very few will be that will find it. If Oprah Winfrey and Ellen...
The British royal family is the head of the Anglican Church. I'm referring to the Meghan and Harry interview. Gotcha.
Could cast a spell on the church. The two most powerful witches in Hollywood cast a spell on the earth.
Oh God, what did Jake say now? Which Captain Crunch gotta go? All berries gotta go. Hold on. What are the different Captain Crunches? Normal Captain Crunch, Crunch Berries, Oops All Berries, Peanut Butter. I'm probably getting rid of regular Captain Crunch, because does anyone eat regular Captain Crunch and like it? You either need to have Captain Crunch, Crunch Berries, Oops All Berries, or Peanut Butter Crunch. Who in their right mind eats regular Captain Crunch? This has the same energy as blue-haired SJW called me mean things, so now I believe taxes for the rich are too high and gay people deserve the gulag. You know that thing about there being a legally okay amount of rat feces to wind up in cereal? My only experience where I think I accidentally actually ate rat poop in food is when I was very, very young, and it was a thing of Oops All Berries, and there was something in there. It wasn't all berries. It was the worst. It was one of the worst things I ever put in my mouth. Pyromancer says peanut butter is worth the torn up mouth. Yes, it is. That thing'll shred ya. I really like to fart with 20 bits as OMG, Hannah regular Captain Crunch all day. Well, you're wrong. You're clearly wrong.
Then can you imagine if two most powerful female witches replace them? If you can fall for these two powerful Hollywood witches, imagine if the Antichrist was to come and deceive the world. You stand no chance. In the name of liberal love and tolerance, the world will be deceived. Calling the church haters and right wing, all the church are haters. Yet in secret, these witches in secret, child trafficking, Oprah Winfrey.
Again, that's a bold claim there. You can say based on reports that Ellen, not great to her staff, rude, called Steve Jobs because she was having a problem with her iPhone, which is the ultimate Karen move. You can't just make accusations of child trafficking without some kind of evidence. Just makes you look loony. That XY girl with 20 bits says, I stan regular Captain Crunch. Well, you are wrong. Regular Captain Crunch is trash.
With her pedophile friends, talk about love and tolerance, her pedophile friends. You see how they con the church, telling church to change their doctrines, while they wasn't practicing what they were preaching. They were indulging in child trafficking and bullying. If you do your own research on Oprah and Harvey Weinstein and this pedophile guru, don't take my word for it. In case I call it fake news, do your own research. And
yeah, we'll go over the bingo card once this is done in a minute or so.
You will see it. She seemed to attract these people, yet they talk about love. Be nice to people. This is how they catch you. This is how they catch you. Be nice to people. Tolerate everything, no matter if it doesn't make any sense. Tolerate it. It's the New World Order. Talking about the New World Order. That's how Fairy Grove got deceived. That's how Fairy Grove got battered. I hope you enjoyed this video because I got so many to make, and I promise to make this channel deeper as I expose this Hollywood wicked agenda. Thank you.
I love Dussy guy. Ugh.
Yeah, it had a fertility.
Poor Dussy guy. What are his most popular videos? Oh no, he's got a vaccine video. Whatever. So that's what Dussy guy's up to. He thinks Oprah's a witch. Which, no? But okay, let's look at the bingo card.